All right, let's get straight into it. Today, we're going to tackle a really tricky 4-mark trigonometry question from an actual GCSE paper. The goal here? To show you exactly how to break it down and make sure you bag every single one of those marks. So here it is. Have a good look. Do you think you could get all 4 marks on this one? Well, stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll know precisely how it's done.
Okay, let's dive in. This is question 20, straight from the November 2023 Pearson Edexcel higher tier paper. It's a classic trig problem, the kind they throw at you to really see what you're made of when the clock's ticking.
So what are we working with? We've got a triangle, a few side lengths, and, there it is, that all-important no calculator symbol. That's a huge clue, right? It tells us straight away we can't just punch this into a machine. We're going to have to use our brains and remember those exact trig values.
So, the challenge is to find the size of angle ABC. And look, they've given us all 3 side lengths, 5, 10, and 5√7. We have to show all are working. So, think about it. You've got 3 sides, and you need to find an angle. What tool in our maths toolkit are we going to reach for?
Right. Where do we even begin? Well, whenever a question gives you 3 sides and asks for an angle, or, 2 sides and the angle between them, a big light bulb should go on in your head. There's one formula that's perfect for this.
And here it is, the cosine rule. This is our key. Now, you usually see it written like this, to find side A or angle A. But the beauty of it is that we can spin it around to work for any angle in any triangle. So let's tweak it to fit our triangle.
Okay, so we're after angle B, right? That means the side opposite it, which is AC, has to be the one that sits all by itself on the left side of our equation. Getting this set up right from the get-go is absolutely crucial.
All right, let's start plugging things in and see how this builds. The very first mark you can earn here is just for putting the right numbers in the right places. It's that simple.
So check this out. The side opposite B is 5√7, so that's what goes on the left. The other 2 sides, 5 and 10, there are A and C. And just for doing that, for getting this substitution right, boom, you've got yourself what the mark scheme calls an M1, a method mark. It's you telling the examiner, hey, I know what I'm doing.
Okay, now for the number crunching. And this is a classic spot where people slip up, squaring a surd like 5√7. But it's easy when you break it down, right? You just square the 5 to get 25, square the root 7 to get 7, and then multiply them together. 25 times 7 is 175. Getting that right is key for the next mark.
So now we've sorted out all the easy bits. 5 squared is 25, 10 squared is 100, and that 2 times 5 times 10 part becomes 100. Look at that. Our equation is already looking much friendlier. We're all set up for the next step, which is actually solving for B.
We are getting so close now. The next bit is pure algebra. All we have to do is shuffle things around to get that cos B term all on its own. Time to put those rearranging skills to the test.
Okay, let's take it step by step. First, 25 plus 100 gives us 125. Then, we take that 125 away from both sides, which leaves us with 50. Now, and this is important, be really careful with that minus sign. Our last move is to divide by negative 100. If you show all this working cleanly, that's another method mark, another M1 in the bag.
And there we go. All that work, and this big, complicated-looking problem boils down to something as simple as this. Cos B equals -1/2. This is the key that's going to unlock the final answer. All that's left is to dip into our memory banks for those exact trig values.
So this is it, the last piece of the puzzle. What angle gives you a cosine of -0.5? Remember, no calculator. It's all about what you know. Now, you probably remember that cos of 60 degrees is +0.5. So, what does that tell us about the angle for -0.5?
And the answer is 120 degrees. Think about the cosine graph. We know the basic angle is 60 degrees, but since our value is negative, we're looking for an obtuse angle, one that's bigger than 90. So we do 180 minus 60, which gives us 120. And that is our final answer.
And if you look at the official mark scheme, that's exactly what it says, A1 for 120. That A1 stands for an accuracy mark. It has to be exactly 120, no wiggle room. It's all about precision for that final point.
So let's just do a quick rundown of how we got all 4 marks. We got 1 for substituting correctly, we got another for squaring that surd properly, We got a third one for showing the full method to rearrange the equation, and finally, that accuracy mark for getting 120. See? Step by step, it's totally achievable.
And that's it. That's how you break down a tough non-calculator cosine rule question and walk away with all the marks. But hey, before you go, here's a little something to chew on. What if that side AC was 5√3 instead of 5√7? Use the exact same method and see what answer you come up with. Give it a shot.